Hi, this is Miss Power. We're going to walk through how to do two-point perspective castles. We're going to go through this step by step today. This is practice. I'm going to pause frequently so we can all do this together. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw my horizon line. Your horizon line is the line where your sky meets your grass. I'm going to write horizon line. You don't have to write that. Next, I'm going to put a vanishing point in each corner. These vanishing points are the points where everything gets smaller. Every horizontal line will always go to a vanishing point. They're so important. Next, I'm going to draw a vertical line that intersects my horizon line. It kind of makes like a long X. Then I'm going to go from the top of my line to my dot. See how I line my ruler up from the top of that vertical line all the way to my vanishing point? I'm going to decide how long I want my building to be, and I'm going to stop when I get there. I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom half. Line it up with the bottom line to the dot. Draw a line as long as you want that wall to be, and stop. Then I'm going to connect the two lines. Try to make this line real straight. I see a lot of students make it go at an angle. It goes straight up and down. It doesn't go out at an angle. Then I'm going to erase away, sorry for the camera shaking, erase away the line that goes through the middle. Now we need to make the other corner of our castle wall. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to go from the top of the dot, or the top of the line, to my vanishing point. I'm going to decide how long I want my castle to be. Draw a line. I'm going to go from the bottom line to my vanishing point. I will decide how long I want it to be. Draw a line. Then I'm going to connect them with a vertical line. Vertical means it goes straight up and down. I'm going to erase away what I have left over. I'm also going to come in and erase away the line that goes through my building. I want you guys to erase a little bit better. It's hard for me to erase because it's going to wiggle the camera. Alright, let's say you wanted a second tier on your castle. So what you would do if you wanted a second tier on your castle is you would come up, you would start at the line from the wall you just made, and you would go straight up. Then it's the exact same thing we've already done. I'm going to go from the top of the line to the dot and draw a line. Top of the line to the dot to the vanishing point. Draw another line. Then I'm going to close it off. You could even erase away this line right here, and that would all look like it was connected if you wanted to. But I'm not going to do that on this one. But you could do that on your final castle. Alright, now we're going to add the castle dealies. I don't know what they're called officially, so I just call them the castle dealies. They're the little squares. I just want to show you all the different things you can include in your castle. So I'm going to come down about 1/2 inch from the top of that this box. I'm going to draw a light line. Doesn't need to be real dark. Then I'm going to come in and divide out my boxes. Next, I'm going to erase the top line of every other box. Not every box, every other box. And I'm going to erase the bottom line of the boxes that still have a top line. See that? I'm sorry, the erasing is hard to do without wiggling this table. Alright, now this is where it gets tricky. I'm going to go from this corner to this vanishing point. Anytime you do these boxes, if you do them on this side, when you add the 3D part, it's going to go to this dot, the dot furthest away from it. If you were going from this box, you would go to this dot. I'm going to line up from the corner of my box to the vanishing point. I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to stop when I get to the box next to it. And I'm going to do that all the way across on all my boxes. Last one. Alright, the next thing I want to show you how to do is windows. When you're doing windows, you're going to decide how tall you want them to be. You're just going to make sure you're lining your ruler up with your dot. I think I want them about this tall, so I'm going to draw a line. Now I'm going to decide how far I want them to come down. Line it up to my dot. As long as it's lining up to the dot, you'll be fine. Draw another line. Now I'm going to close those boxes off. Make sure you get your lines as straight as you can. Then I'm going to divide them out into however wide I want my windows to be. You can have really wide windows, skinny windows. And then I'm going to erase, just like the boxes, every other window. If you wanted to do window panes or something like that in your windows, you could. You just have to make sure that that horizontal line is going to a vanishing point. Everything goes to a vanishing point. Alright, let's do a door, a drawbridge, and a column, and then we'll be done for today. So on a door, I'm going to decide how tall I want my door to be. Draw a line. Then I'm going to come straight down on my sides. But I want this door to have a curved top. So I'm going to come from the middle of my door, and I'm going to draw my curves and erase away the leftover. You can do curved windows too if you want to. When you do a drawbridge, of course on your door you'll come in and add all sorts of details to them to make them more realistic. When you do your drawbridge, we want it to come out at this angle. So that means we're going to have to use this dot, this vanishing point. I'm going to line my ruler up from this vanishing point to the corner of my door. See how it lines up right to the corner of my door? I'm going to draw a line. And I'm going to come to the other side of the door, right here, draw another line. If you were making it a square door, you would use this vanishing point and line it up. But our door's not going to be square because our drawbridge won't be square because our door's not square. So we need to turn that into a curve. Finishing touches on the drawbridge, I'm going to add little squares where the strings are going to go. Then I'm just going to use my ruler. Anytime you're drawing a straight line, use your ruler so it looks nice. I'm going to connect my drawbridge to the squares. Alright, so let's say you wanted to put some columns. A lot of my students like to put columns in their castles. Columns are real easy. You can put them all over the place. You'll start with two parallel lines. Parallel lines mean that they'll never intersect. They just stay side by side. I'm going to erase this line going through them. Then I'm going to add a curve at the bottom because the columns are round. and a curve at the top. Now there's different ways you can finish up the top of these columns. I'll show you one way. You could come out at an angle, then go straight up, and then come across with the castle dealies again that we don't know the name of. Some people like to leave it there. Other people like to add a cone, maybe even a flag at the top. Last thing is a sidewalk. Let's say you wanted to add a sidewalk or a moat. You'd start at this dot, bring a line out. You need 2 lines on each side. It's up to you how wide you want your sidewalk to get. Then I would do the same thing on the other side and let them crisscross. I think that looks cool. And erase away where they intersect. And you just completed the basic castle tutorial. Of course, you'd put all these pieces together in a more pleasing, interesting way to make it really look like your castle. Very good job.